Sometimes don't make him guess what you like. Sometimes communicate your needs through you doing them. Hello, how to communicate with your husband. If you're watching my face for the very first time, my name is Moses. I make dating and relationship videos on this channel. I promote decency in anything relationship. Your comments are welcome. The subscription button, the red button, is underneath this video. You can go ahead and subscribe, especially if this content is good for you. You know, sometimes we find it difficult, especially when, for those of us who are not married to our tribes, you're married to a non-tribe, or sometimes because of love, you're just meeting a guy, you don't really know him, and maybe 2-3 months into it, sometimes it happens, people get married, and it's after marriage that you notice this guy does not really talk like that, or he doesn't like talking. And you, from the other side, you like talking, you like conversations, you like time out where you discuss, you smile, your everyday thing, your everyday gossip. You want a man that you'll be doing your gossip. Is like your gossip partner, is like your friend, your pal. I have 7 tips I'm going to give you that, of course, I trust these tips will be able to help you to be able to stay with this man and to be able to make this man talk to you, or you'll be able to make him listen to your conversation and then open up conversations with you. Number 1, consciously create time for discussion. Don't get angry because you just realize he's not the talking type, or he's not the type that sits at home to discuss, or maybe after work, you just notice he does not talk. He comes back from work, he eats his food, the table is set, he eats his food, he takes his shower, eats his food, and whoop, to the bed he goes, and of course he falls on the bed, or he jumps on the bed, and does it for the day. And you too, you may have gone to work and you just come back, there's just no time to relate and talk with each other. So you must consciously create time for discussion, especially weekend. It will be a good time. And sometime when you are at work, if you can make out time to call him at break times, just send a short message. How are you? Of course, you're in relationship together, you're building, or you are already in it. So there should be a time where you discuss. You can't continue, especially when there is no conversation, there's no discussion. You won't be able to know him better. And like I said, if you were not in the same city, you prepared yourself, you were ready for the marriage, he was ready, and of course you got married after a few months of it. This is the time to really get to know yourselves. Because a lot of things, if you don't get to know yourself now, and maybe children begin to come, families, friends begins to come, you will not be able to know him properly, or he knows you properly, because other characters are coming. And of course, in the marriage, somebody might want to talk about you to the other person, and he has known this is somebody he has known. He will tend to believe what the other person, the external person that is coming for a visit, is telling him, because he has known the other person compared to the time he has met you. So if you don't make out time to have proper discussions now, conscious time, make out great time to be together, do your discussions very well, get to know yourselves before you begin to have outsiders coming to like send some things into you or your partner. I mean, it won't be a good one, but if you can make out time now, especially like I said, consciously create time for discussion. It will help. Number 2, start your conversations with warm-up words, kind words, nice words, words of appreciation, words that edifies, words that makes him, oh, I am fine, I want to be part of this discussion, appreciating him, words that warms up your partner. It will help you show interest in whatever conversation he is bringing or you're bringing. Show concern. Don't ask questions and move. Ask questions and expect a reply, a response to that, something positive. And of course, before you go for it, to be a positive person, be prepared to get something positive. And it all depends on what you send out. I used to tell people, I said, when you tell me this person responded like rudely to you, how did you approach this person? Sometimes people are working under pressure, and of course you say something. It's possible somebody can respond rudely or maybe out of pressure. It's possible, like I said, but sometimes the words you send to the other people, and even when you talk to someone calmly, or your voice and something, and the other person responds so-called rudely, What are your responses back? Your response back. Sometimes I tell people, ignore and then overlook whatever is happening for that time, because that person might be working under pressure, or might be coming from a place where the person is already hot, or the person is triggered and the person's spirit is already hot, up or high. So you sometimes expect responses like that. So sometimes you show interest in what the person is trying to say, or in what the person is trying to pass out, or what you're trying to tell the person. Make the person know that you're interested in it and you want a good response or something positive. And of course, it will help you to be able to communicate properly with your husband, your partner. Learn to finish whatever you're doing early, and then have a time of bonding. Whatever you're doing as a woman, you're cooking, you're working in the office, especially when you have clothes, you're like an 8 to 5 or 4 o'clock time worker. Find a time that when you finish, find yourself back home, avoiding the traffic, so you can have your time to make meals. And when he comes back, you have time to stay with him, especially when he's eating. It will be another great time to like have a discussion with him, encouraging him, welcome him, give him those cheerful words. It will help you. Always disagree to agree on anything you're doing. As a partner in marriage, you must learn to disagree to agree. If whatever you're discussing is something that has to do with, okay, this is not right, this is not how I did it, this is not how it is done, this is not how I used to do it, learn to agree or learn to disagree, to agree at the end of the day, because this is what makes marriage. And of course, it will help your partner to know you better. It will help you to know your husband's temperament, and the much he can tolerate, and of course the much you can tolerate, because it's in marriage you discover that sometimes you run out of patience and you want to scream, you want to say something that of course you did not prepare, especially when you are put to anger. It is in marriage you act like you were not ready for it, and sometimes you ask yourself, what am I doing here? So it is the way you plan it, the way you talk, the way you present it, and that is what comes back to you. Talk to resolve conflicts, not complicating them. Talk to resolve your differences, your angers, your pain, your rocky times. Talk to resolve them, not complicating things. It will help you a great deal. Don't make him always guess what you want. Don't make him guess what you want. Sometimes those things you want. See, when I walk into marriage the first time, I am that type that, see, I love gifts. People give me gifts. And of course, I thought in my marriage is going to be gift. Every week is going to be gift. But I walk into marriage and I noticed it was a different thing. That is not part of his love language, my husband's love language. If he wants to give you gift, he will give you, and of course he gives you double. But the way I expected this to be coming every week, like I used to have it, I never had it. So what did I do? Once in a while I step out, I get something. It could be a flower, I get a flower. It could be a tom-tom. I just get something and I put it in the house. I take mine, and of course I drop his for him, and when he comes back, this is for you. And it continued, and at some point he's like, oh, it's like you like this. And of course he started doing it. So sometimes don't make him guess what you like. Sometimes communicate your needs through you doing them. You can communicate your needs through doing them. If you can do these things for you, be the woman you want, give yourself those things you want a man to give to you. It will help you to make him adjust and understand that this is the person I'm married to. It will help you. Not always fighting, not always expecting, oh, you did not do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to understand you did not do this. No, not always like that. Sometimes help the man, help your partner to do it the way you want it. Always use clear language when you are in conversation. Don't use some languages he will not understand. Go straight to the point. Use languages he will understand. Always reward his best effort. His best effort should be rewarded and appreciated. Learn to appreciate him often and learn to talk about it. Learn to even share it with his friends, especially when his families are around. Families want to hear that their brother is being nice to you, is kind to you, especially when we have in-laws around. They want to see that their brother is doing well with you. God bless you. And of course, if you're watching my face for the very first time, my name is Moses. I make dating and relationship videos on this channel. I promote decency in anything relationship. And of course, make me see you in my next video. Your comments are welcome. The notification bell is somewhere. press it so you will be part of the first people that will get to know the next time I upload a video on this channel. Like I said, your comments are always welcome. The subscription button, the red button, is underneath this video. You can go ahead and subscribe, especially if this content is good for you, is useful to you, or you feel it to be useful to a neighbor, a colleague in the office. I will suggest, or I will, you subscribe to my channel. And until I see you in my next video, from here is love. Bye.